you're out of the game. You cannot do anything. You'll lose every single time. The Big Plateau. I suddenly realized that, when we practice, we get in these, periods of time where we're not making that much progress. But there's a big plateau that people experience right after they practiced chords and songs. They start playing guitar, and we know nothing when we start playing guitar. And then we get to this incredible level of actually being able to play some stuff, right? So now we're in a completely different category than before in our lives. And then we reach the plateau. Because from there, you kind of play chords and you try to, but it's like you're not really getting any better. And that's because of the practice method, the philosophy that we're using when we practice. And we need to change that, right? So you're practicing chords, and the first time you can do a C major, it's incredible, right? Or a D major, but that's fine because you get from nothing to something, and that's a big step. But in order to make the next big step, you must stop branching out like that. And you must go for mastery. Same point I'm always making, but that's because everybody, keeps doing the wrong thing. And that's we practice too many things all the time. If you want the same feeling, the same experience of breaking through and, belonging to a completely different category that we did than when we started, right? We went from nothing to something. Now, if you want to go from something to wow, then you must focus intensely on one small area. Like instead of, taking the next song and kind of, messing around with a couple of strumming patterns, you need to become the best in the world at one strumming pattern. The best in the world, there's no above that. But we don't see that. We don't see our true capability of totally doing that, just right off the bat. We don't have to have been playing for 10 or 20 years in order for us to be allowed to have an ambition that is pretty close, right? We can get that. If you take the same strumming pattern, right, and you just grind that strumming pattern over and over and over again. You sit in front of the TV, you buy an electric guitar, even though perhaps you're only playing acoustic, only so you can practice with very little sound. You practice, do the same thing over and over and over again, and you're good at it, right? So you go from being poor, which is where most beginners are, also intermediates. Most intermediates are poor at everything they do. And I'm sorry to say that, but we need to raise our standards for when we consider something to be good. Because good needs to be automatic. That's good. If it's below automatic, meaning we have to focus on making it happen, then it's useless when it comes to playing real music. Sorry to say so. It's like being in a football game or a tennis match or a soccer game. That every skill you have that just, comes naturally and automatic because you've been practicing it so much, that skill you can actually use. But if you have to think about with what part of the foot you're kicking the ball, or you have to think about how to hold the racket when you play tennis, you're out of the game. You cannot do anything. You'll lose every single time. But when it comes to music, we don't think like that, and we should. Because we need to be able to hold the racket and not think about how we hold it. It needs to be natural. And in order to come to that point, we need to play and play and play and play and do the same two shots, like forehand and backhand. Those are the only two things we focus on, right? And we do those thousands and millions of times when we play tennis before we're good at it, right? And when we're good at it, now we can see the ball, we can run for it, and that shot happens. Basically what we do now is that we have an intention. I see the ball, and I see the ball go to that far corner on the playing field. And then that's what happens in my body. I don't think about step one, step two, step three, ball in, we don't do that. It's automatic, right? And you need to take something, just one thing to the point of automatic, right? And that might be one song with 4 chords. You need to make that your focal point, right? That one song. You might practice other songs as well, but the first thing you practice when you pick up your guitar is that song, those chords, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like incessantly, right? We need to have that that thing happen where people go, "You're crazy, man. You stop playing that song all the time. You're still playing it. You're good at it. It sounds amazing. Stop it," right? No, 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 no. I'm going for total mastery. And we can do that with something simple. In as little as a week, a month, 3 months, we can actually become world champions at only one thing. And now, my friend, you are in a different category. The same shift from not being able to play anything on the instrument to playing something, which is, I can play guitar now. The next shift is going from playing everything poor or meh, right, to doing something that's amazing. Now you're in a completely different category. Now you are effectively a guitar master of something. And you can build on that mastery. And that's how to move on from the first huge plateau that we experience. Most people get stuck there, like, right? You find skeletons in that place of the road, right? Because most people never, they never get, any place else than that. They just get stuck there, and now they play, guitar so for the rest of their lives. Focus on mastery. Take something small like 2 chords, 1 strumming pattern, whatever it is, finger picking, soloing, 1 lick that just wow, right? And bring it all the way up to mastery, and you have now effectively left that plateau forever. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment by all means. Your own experiences with this little area here. See you.